Tony, I have to imagine for the second straight week you're probably feeling pretty frustrated. It felt like, again, you created enough to have 3 or 4 goals and it just didn't fall for you. I guess why, from what you could see in the dugout?
Oh, look, part of that can be good defending as well from the opponent. And the other part is obviously, we've got to become a little bit more clinical in our final decisions, a bit more ruthless in the box. But we held the opponent to 0 shots today. The opponent didn't have a shot on goal. So that's, real positive. I feel our game's getting better. I thought we got in the box even easier than last week. But we lacked, obviously, the final touch. The goal was a beautiful goal. But, we probably, we needed to score again in the first half when we were so dominant. And, in the second half, maybe we didn't have as many clear chances, but, again, we didn't give away a shot on goal. So the team's progressing well. We're progressing well. I'd much rather be here sitting talking about, that we're improving our game, we're dominating much better with the ball, we're controlling games better, limiting the opponent to very little. I'd much rather that, obviously with the points as well when you do that. But obviously that's something we've got to keep working on and we've got to get better at.
Today was a game dominated by VAR, contentious calls, some that went against you, some that went in favour of you. Did you just feel like the rhythm of the game, if nothing else, it felt like it was so stop and start, players waiting around. Did you find that difficult, and did the boys?
I don't know about the boys. I haven't asked them. But, the stoppages are quite long. But we've got VAR, so we'd rather have the right decision than the wrong one. If they review it, then we want the right call. There was a penalty shout for us. There was one for them, but it was offside. So you can look at that in a few ways. I look at that and say it was a fantastic line. We had a great line, and so it's offside. It's offside. So that's a clear one. But we really got to focus on us. And we're happy with how we're performing. We're getting better. We just got to put teams away, and I think that's the main focus for us.
Mentioned it was a fantastic line. You had a penalty ruled out for a handball that wasn't, according to the VAR, and I think Ben had a late shout for a penalty that wasn't brought over to the VAR for review. Do you think those were right as well, or do you think they erred?
The one with Bruno I haven't seen closely, but my guess is if they reviewed it, they saw that it wasn't handball. And the one on Ben, they had a look at because it's in the penalty area, and they deemed that as well, whether it was minimal contact or I'm not quite sure what the determination was of that incident. But like I said, the focus for us is just we're happy with our performance, we're happy how we're playing, some really good football. We look strong as a team. Now we have a chance to regroup. Try and get better in this 2-week period before we go again. So that'll be the focus.
Daniel Arzani, was he okay? He just looked pretty filthy when he came off. I think he had that sort of kept the ball in, and then maybe did he tighten up or cramp, or was it just? I
think it was just cramps. I think we've had 2 games now where there've been 6-day turnarounds. The conditions were probably the warmest we've had so far that we've played in. He hasn't had a lot of regular football for a long time, and he's backing up and performing, and we're seeing that his first half performances are getting better and better. We need a bit more end product from him, whether it's more assists, more goals, and the second half he'll continue to improve. That's part of the journey for him. He hasn't come off injured, which is key, and a couple of weeks now, I expect even better Daniel.
Does it feel like it's going that direction? Because it felt like there were moments in that first half where we could have almost broken it open. A lot of almosts, I suppose. Yeah,
but we have to keep encouraging the players. We've got some creative players on the park, and Isuzu was probably a bit quiet today in terms of the games we've played so far, and yet, we had so many shots on goal, and but we need them in the front third to. Daniel's creative, Nishan's creative, Zinedine, Bruno's been very effective for us. He's a top striker, so we just got to keep encouraging these players and keep putting them in the position where they can score more goals like we did the first goal we scored today, which is a wonderful team goal. We'd love to see some wingers getting on the end of that. We've got to get those players scoring more goals, but we'll work hard in training and hopefully we can improve that area for our next challenge against Macarthur.
Is one of the messages across the international break just reiterating what you're telling us to them, that they are getting better, the football is improving and things are getting better? Because maybe from the stands it felt like when those chances weren't falling throughout the game, the players were playing a bit tight, they were trying to force the issue, they knew they were on top and they were trying to force that second goal through. Is that one thing that you're just going to remind them? They are good enough, they don't need to force it?
Yeah, I'd say we maybe had a 5 to 10 minute window there before half time where we started dwelling on the ball, forcing the action, as you say. But apart from that, I didn't feel in the second half there was anxiety about the players. You've got an opponent that's, defending desperately, very resilient. Keeper made some saves, good blocks. But I never felt the anxiety comes when you feel that the opponent's a threat on the break every time they go forward, and that wasn't there in the first half, and it was there probably even less in the second half. So the team continued to play the way we were playing. So the anxiety might be within, might be a bit frustrated. I didn't put that chance away, or the final ball wasn't good. But you want that as well. We don't want the boys going home tonight, and myself included, all of us at Melbourne Victory, and saying, okay, yeah, we're playing good. No, we should be disappointed. We're happy with the progress, the football we're playing, but we're not happy we didn't win. And there should be a feeling of that as well.
Ryan T, you obviously got on the end of that lovely goal you've mentioned, but I know it's a limited sample size, but how excited are you by what you've seen from him in this midfield early days? Yeah,
very good. And he's a young player that has hardly played any regular football for the last couple of years. So even tonight, I could sense the second half. He was looked a little bit tired, but that's all expected. But he's a really good young prospect, and he goes away now with the under 23. So hopefully he comes back full of confidence from the camp, and we'll keep working hard on him, and I can see him developing a lot further in the second half of the year.
If you go through the record books, there won't be many games where the team hasn't had a shot. What did you make of that? And were you aware of it throughout the game and during the game?
Yeah, you're pretty aware. I thought there may have been one, but it just shows football. It's why we love this game. They didn't have a shot on goal, and they go home with a point. So credit to them. We also got a point. We maintain 4 games now undefeated. We're in the right direction, and there are many areas to improve and keep evolving. So, we're happy the opponent's getting limited chances, because against Newcastle we were very open here at home. So against Adelaide, very limited opportunities for Adelaide to score. It was a wide free kick, and then today, one chance on the break, a known goal. So we're limiting the opponent in the last 2 games, and that needs to continue, and that needs to get better. And if we improve that front third in terms of our final decision, which is the hardest part in football, we've got a lot to look forward to.
I know you touched on some of the players cramping in the conditions, but any other fitness or injury concerns beyond that has caught your attention?
No, so that's a positive, because we've had a few injuries in the last few weeks. So everyone walking off disappointed, but no injuries is a positive.